so we bless her today, and we bless her spirit. And so I pray that to the family, as you go forth with your lives from this day forward, that you never think of Mrs. Ross as being limited by time or form.
I actually met her for the first time a few years ago when there was a class held at the church. David brought her to the class. It was how to cope with grieving. And it was at a time shortly after she had lost one of her sons. And at some point during the beginning of the class, Reverend Doris asked everyone to share what they were experiencing, what they were feeling. And Ms. Ross broke out in a song. And it was an old gospel song that probably all of us know. And before you know it, everybody was singing. And she quickly became the sweetheart of the class.
Ms. Ross was like a second mother to me. I was accepted as one of hers, and her kids felt like sisters and brothers to me. Running around with Joy and Tina, playing in her home. When they ate, I would eat. Climbing the apple tree in the backyard that my mother would get after me so often to stay out of. Picnics at Haynes Point, trips to Georgia, Marshall Hall, and most importantly, church on Sunday, and weekday prayer meetings. Tagging along with Miss Ross to church is where I learned more about the Lord, and I accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior at a young age. When I am in a dark place, and I have learned where to draw my strength from, the Lord, and for this I'm ever so grateful. Thank you, Miss Ross.
And He will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the red of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, in the palm of His hand.
But it was a family right up the street that I noticed very active. Come out on the porch and they would be having a good time, wreaking havoc like teenagers do. But when it got too loud, when that door swung open, and Ms. Ross came out and everybody got quiet. Everybody fell in order. And as the years went on, that was the first family that I became real close to, and actually the closest family that I am with today in Washington, D.C. And I consider knowing her husband and the entire family a tremendous blessing to my life.
It may be that we are a loving, spiritual, radiant light who lives in a very quietly, very loving, very kind and gentle way. But as it was said, in those moments of our touching another soul, we can have a powerful impact and leave a mighty impression. And from the messages that we've just heard, Mrs. Ross did just that. And so we continue our celebration and our honor.
Good morning. I just thank God for everything, all of y'all coming. It was a week because of joy. Abraham and Sarah to him. They taught us values, and they taught us how to love and how to walk the walk of faith. That's what I learned from my mom. I miss her a lot, but no one is as happy as I am for her this moment, because she's paid the price. She walked the walk, and we just thank God for her. I don't have anything else to say, but I just thank God for all of her grandchildren, all of her friends, and all of you all that came out for her today. And I thank God for that, because that just shows something that she earned you all respect and everything for you just to be here. And I thank God for that.
Just want to share it with you. It means a great deal to me and my family to have you guys come out and to salute our First Lady, my mother. She is a great part of my life, always will be. Her teachings, her love, unwavering support. It didn't matter if you were getting an award or you were suffering a challenge. It didn't matter. She loved all 8 of us the same. And how do you do that? I've often wondered, how do you do that? You've got 8 children to raise. She and my dad, God knew what he was doing, okay? If you ever had any doubts about God, ask me, I'll tell you, okay? He knew what he was doing when he put that union together, because my family support throughout this difficult time, support for one another throughout our lives. Something happened, we're the first ones there, as she was for many of us and for our neighbors. I thank you all for coming out to help us salute our mother, a precious, precious life. We will mourn her, but I celebrate her. I've been celebrating her since the moment she passed. Her spirit has been all over me, and I am okay. I'm sharing a few tears because I can't kiss her anymore, but I will remember that last kiss, that last touch, and the last time I held her hand. For I am my mother. She has taught me. I am proud of my mother, proud of my family. I can't tell you how much I love them all, and thank you all for coming. I love you.
If I can help somebody.
I pray that each of us will approach our time of transformation as Mrs. Ross faced her time of transformation, by turning to the infinite presence within for strength, knowing that it is not the end of life, but a new beginning of life. And she lived, and the family gave testimony to this, and her friends have. She lived her life in preparation for this sacred moment. She lived her life. I'm ready to go home to live with God.